morning, I'm Lauren Bukoskey.
And I'm Carly Ott. This is your Malibu 12 News.
We start tonight with a school bus accident southeast of Santa Maria. 3 high school students and the bus driver remain hospitalized. The bus was on its way to Santa Maria Joint Union High. A farm truck in an oncoming lane had a mechanical arm sticking out. That struck the bus, smashing the windshield, hitting the driver in the face. She lost control. The bus swerved, crashing through a fence, striking a tree. The driver was seriously injured, but still conscious when firefighters cut her out of the bus. Police and witnesses say, despite her injuries, she did everything she could to control the bus and save others from injuries.
But she did a great job driving because that thing could have flipped 3 times and she kept it on all 4 wheels. I mean, she deserves she definitely deserves a medal for driving.
The driver of the farm truck was identified as 25-year-old Hugo Medina. The sheriff's department is investigating how the mechanical arm came loose and whether Medina will face charges.
A Carpinteria high school football player has been seriously injured in a car accident. It happened Saturday night in Carpinteria as the player, Jonathan Esquita, was alone in his car. Police report there were 3 people in the vehicle that struck his and that they ran from the scene. 2 of the 3 have now been caught. Police aren't saying if one of those had been the driver. The collision was on Linden Avenue at El Caro Lane, where evidence of the wreckage includes a damaged utility box. The Carpinteria High School marquee has a positive message for Esquita, who has head, chest, and pelvic injuries. His coaches have been to the hospital.
You know, one of the first things he wanted to know if he was going to be able to go to football practice on Monday, which just kind of breaks your heart. But
it's also a good sign.
It was a good sign, and he didn't have any really recollection of the crash, but itself. But he was able to speak, and you know, it was all a very good sign.
6 deputies from Santa Barbara County have been assigned to investigate the crash.
In other news, talking about Santa Barbara, the city does not have a gang injunction, but one could be coming soon. City leaders say a court could rule on the matter by the end of this month. An injunction would limit the activities of about 30 known gang members in areas designated as safety zones. The public is invited to voice opinions about a gang injunction during a community meeting this Saturday.
If you oppose the injunction, we want to hear your voice. If you support it, come and tell us why. Eventually, the pro-youth movement will take a delegation to the authorities, such as the police department, and we want to open a dialogue about how the injunction is implemented if the court orders it.
The community meeting starts at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon at Trinity Church on State Street. Lompoc and Oxnard already have gang injunctions. Both are similar to the one proposed for Santa Barbara.
There's a new development in the bed bug infestation at a homeless shelter in San Luis Obispo. Jeff Stone lived there for a time and was among those who were bitten. Now he's suing the operators of the shelter, demanding $500,000 in damages. The suit claims the people who run the shelter knew there were problems but ignored them. We covered it here on Malibu News 12 when the facility was shut down last month for a few days to treat the infestation. Stone says he was bitten before that and developed an infection which was treated in a hospital emergency room. Since our report, the building has been disinfected and homeless people staying there have been told they can no longer bring their own bedding.
I can just feel my skin crawl. That does not sound good. From bed bugs to something definitely not pleasant, flu season is officially here. The good news is that doctors say there is a more powerful vaccine available this year. The previous vaccine covered 3 strains. Scientists have now developed one that covers 4, and that's available starting this week. About 30 million doses have been sent to clinics, hospitals, pharmacies, and doctors' offices nationwide. We asked people outside one pharmacy here in Malibu if the new vaccine makes them more likely that they'll get the shot.
I would consider getting one, I guess. I don't normally make a habit out of it, but, you know, I'd consider it, sure.
How about you?
I wouldn't.
Why?
I don't believe they work.
The reformulated vaccine comes in nasal spray too. You can learn a lot more about flu shots, including this new vaccine, by visiting the website for the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. That's at cdc.gov.
And we have some good health news for daily coffee drinkers. It seems you are drinking to your health. A new study finds those cups of Joe help boost longevity. Researchers at the Harvard School of Public Health found people who drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day had a 15% lower risk of premature mortality compared to people who don't drink coffee. The new findings, published in the medical journal Circulation, have good news for decaf drinkers. It works for you guys too.
The Malibu Playhouse is about to get a brand new owner. The theater, put on the market last summer, finally has a new buyer and is in escrow. It was originally listed for $4.9 million, imagine that. The actual sale price hasn't been made public yet. The Malibu Playhouse on Pacific Coast Highway has been used for live local theater performances since 2002. The 99-seat theater is on a 6.5-acre property that includes a plant nursery, a ranch house, a kitchen, and a 50-space parking lot. The Playhouse is continuing to operate during the ownership change. It's presenting a full lineup of plays during December by the Young Actors Project.
Now we can officially get into the holiday mood because it's December. Let's do this by checking the current value of all the gifts in the holiday song, The 12 Days of Christmas. The Christmas Price Index, as it's called, comes from PNC, an investment company in Pittsburgh. 9 of the 13 items mentioned in the song stayed the same price as in 2016, but the partridge in a pear tree went up $5 this year to $25. Also up, 2 turtle doves. The pair now cost $290, up $30 from last year. And as for the 10 Lords a Leaping, they did leap 3% over last year to $5,500. And if you went out to buy all the gifts spelled out in the final verse of the song, well, be prepared to fork over $34,000.
Wow, I can safely say I will not be purchasing all of those gifts, but still with the wintry spirit, we want to close with something cute enough to melt an icy heart. Take a look. It seems dogs are not only a man's best friend. This is Manitoba, Canada, where we're seeing the softer side of a large polar bear as it pets a small sled dog. The tour guide who recorded this says he was surprised at the bear's human-like affection for the dog. Both animals showed curiosity about the other, and he says they had an overall easygoing encounter. Well, thank goodness it was easygoing.
That is so
that's
cute.
dangerous.
Oh my word, I'd be worried if that was my dog or if I was the tour guide videoing that, but I'm very appreciative for the video.
Yeah, it was very risky, but it turned out very cute.
It did.
That's all for now. More news at 11. I'm Lauren Bukowski.
And I'm Carly Ott. Good night.